Hello, hello, and welcome back to, or welcome to, depending on some kind of something. My name is Kamani Rose, and you know, that's what this is. Today we are going to be talking. Well, I'm filming this a little bit differently. I'm trying to experiment about how I film and what's the best quality of film that we can do. So we're just gonna be trying out a few things. So this this video is going to be about my poetry and that whole sort of endeavor for me. Um, Everything that I mention will be linked and all that good stuff. So, my poetry. I started writing poems when I was around 12, but I've always been a writer, writing stories and things like that. But this past June, I started self-publishing my poetry, and I released my first chapbook last June. And it's called I Don't Know What It Means Either, and it's really cute. So that's what this first video is going to be about. I'm going to do a few videos of these poetry books. I have 3 currently released poetry books, and I love them all. And yeah, but for my art collective, I just recently started an art collective this past November. It's called Kamani Rose Creations, and it is highlighting women of color creatives, and solely women of color creatives. It's a closed space, so only women of color creatives and artists and all those types of things are allowed to be a part of the collective, but everybody else can be on the outside looking in. And it's really small right now, and we have a blog where we have I have a few really awesome, dope women of color who are a part of Kamani Rose Creations that contribute their work and things like that, and that's really great. And I'm always looking for more, so that's a little baby plug. If you want to ever be a part of it and you identify as a woman of color, here I am. Hello, please help. Yeah. But that it has a blog for those types of things. It has a little shop where I sell my poetry books and where anybody else can sell anything of theirs if they feel so inclined. Yeah, so that's that. And I'll probably do another video about Kamani Rose Creations as it gets bigger and as I have more of it, to talk about and to explain. Because right now it's just a little baby grassroots type of movement, and not a movement, grassroots kind of organization. And it's a art collective. So anything is art, anything can be art, so that's why it's very open and free right now, which is exactly how I want it. So we're gonna start with my poetry book. So we're gonna so I'll have 3 videos like this because I have 3 currently released poetry books. I think I said that. And the first one, we're gonna start with the first one, the baby, or not the baby, I guess, the oldest. And this is called I Don't Know What It Means Either. And I'll link it below. They're all for sale and things like that. And there's different combinations of things, full sets of the 3 and mixed match sets of the 2s or anything like that. I just write a lot, so I'll link that stuff below. And I have blogs and things, and that's all whatever linked below as usual. But for now, for this, I'm gonna be reading. This video might be kind of short, but I'm gonna be reading a few poems, 2 or 3 poems from this poetry book, and I'm going to explain their backstories and where it came from. And I feel, I don't know, I get a lot of questions about my poetry from my friends and things that are oh, where did you come up with this idea, where did this poem, what was inspired by this, things like that. So I thought it was a good idea to film it for the YouTube. So we'll start. But this poetry book, it's fine. It's called I Don't Know What It Means Either, and my friend Tara, I will link her Instagram and things and all that stuff below as well. She did the dopest cover art for them, and I'll These are like so freaking cool. I'm like obsessed with it. They're like really, really awesome. And the covers all change with like cardstock and things that I get, so easy peasy. But anyway, so I'm gonna do two poems from this, my two favorites. And also, these are favorites that people have told me, and that are their favorites from the books, or my personal favorites, or like a story that I feel like telling. So that's how these are going to be kind of structured. But this first one is called Homesick, and it is in, I'll be reading it straight from here. I am homesick from places that have changed, people who have changed, lives that have changed. I am homesick for something that no longer exists, for a life that I no longer live, and connections I no longer have. Memories only carry innocence when taken out of context, but so isolating from present day. Nothing is owned, nothing is perfect, nothing stays the same. The change, the movement in socially constructed time frames to move mundane days into weeks, into years, into lifetimes you wish you could return to. Wish you could remember. I don't think it's ever as bright, as innocent, as wonderful as we remember. Nostalgia seems to always find a way to distract from the knowing, honest present. I don't think it's ever as bright, as innocent, as wonderful as we remember. Nostalgia always seems to find a way to distract from the knowing, honest present. Okay, so that's the first one. It's Homesick, duh. And I wrote this, Homesick, when I first came to Chicago for college, and I was so, like, and, like, all my friendships were changing. I think I've talked about that in previous videos of, like, my friendships changing and my relationships changing, and I was, like, not, and it's hard to grow like that and not be expecting that type of growth, so you just, like, being pushed into that type of growth is, like, really jarring and really hard, or it was for me. And so, since my coping mechanism is writing, I wrote about it, and I don't know, it's just, like, looking back at things like high school and, like, my old friendships and things like that, I am really nostalgic about it, because it's, like, not how it happened. And, like, it's not, like, and it's, like, looking from the outside in now, because I'm, like, looking and I see things that I didn't see before, and I'm, like, that's so, like, everything is through, like, my memories are, like, my memories are through rose-colored glasses sometimes, because I'm, like, I have to, like, take myself out of it to be, like, that's not it. Like, that's not how it happens. Stop romanticizing things, you know? So it's really, like, it's iffy. And it's, excuse me, sorry, I'm getting over a cold. But, like, it's really, like, weird and, like, very, yeah. So this next, we're going to read one more, perhaps. We'll read one more. Okay, we'll read two more. This one's short. It's called A Poem by a Girl Trying to Write in the Perspective of a Boy, which I guess puts you inside my mind at that point, because I realize that I cannot write in the perspective of boys, because unless I'm, like, writing narratively and then I'm writing in, like, character form, but if I'm just trying to write about, like, random boy thoughts, it's not gonna work because I'm not a boy. So I don't understand that mindset, that headspace a lot, so this is me trying. And that's basically where this whole thing came from, is, like, me trying to do that, and me trying and probably failing. I don't know. I think it's cute. Okay. I think that the love of my life is sitting next to me. She is the most open book I've ever had the pleasure of finding. I don't even like books. She's my favorite book. She keeps adding chapters. I don't think I'll ever finish her. I think I'm unlocking her levels with my questions. A new chapter starts every time I ask her why, or where did that come from. We skip around. go back and forth in her storyline. She's helping me write mine. I've never known writing like this. Storytelling and retelling and knowing. I'll know her, and she'll know me, and we'll know each other. So that one's like cute and cheesy and stuff. I actually wrote it thinking about my partner, like my boyfriend right now, because he doesn't really read, and like I love to read and I love writing and all those things, and he has vaguely said, he said some of these things. That's a lot of what my poetry is. Sometimes it's like quotes from conversations is what inspires a lot of my poems, and that's a thing. So yeah. Yeah, so that's where that came from. It's inspired by my boyfriend right now. My boyfriend, and he's really cool and like dorky and things like that. So that's why there's like video game references and book references and things like that in here, because he's dorky like that. So, you know. So I guess we can do one more, and then I'll wrap it up, and then I'll link all of these things. And this is all just like an experiment, so let me know if you like my poetry, and I can read more of it for y'all, and all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll do one more story. I think we'll do, let's see. We will do, On Being Gentle. This one's called On Being Gentle, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of how I see parts of my personality a lot. Like, I mean, there's a lot to everyone, of course, but I think a big part of my personality is that I am gentle. You'll understand once I get to the poem part, but this is how I realize how my actions are and how I do things a lot of the time. So, On Being Gentle. I am gentle with everyone. Hold everything with the softness of fingertips except myself. I am a reflection, but I am not a mirror. I am a product, but I am not a clone. I react with gentleness, submission, kindness, sympathy, to others only, it seems. I could never grant that to myself. At most, I see what I'm told, at least nothing at all. Internalizing harshness, brash, unkind dominance, and only giving gentleness back. So, I wrote that because I really do that. I internalize and I kind of take on a lot of negativity that's around me just so I can bring out good things. So I'll hold on to somebody else's or something negative, so I don't just to avoid putting negativity out into the world, which is good and bad, but just gentle in that way. So that was fast. I probably read those kind of fast, but thank you so much. Welcome back to Some Kind of Something, and I will be back soon. And thank you, comment, all those fun, jazzy things. I will be around again. I'm always around. I'm going to link all of my art collective stuff below, as well as all my poetry things and blogs and the artist for this poetry book and all those types of things below. And I'm so excited to be filming again because my skin is working out with me a little, and the sun is out, and I'm not super sick anymore, so I'll be filming more often because I have everything is aligning for it, so I'll be filming a lot more, and I'm really excited about it. So bye.